คุณผู้ชมคะการเปลี่ยนผ่านสู่ยุคดิจิทัลไม่ใช่ทางเลือกแต่ว่าเป็นเรื่องที่ต้องทำโดยเฉพาะเมื่อประเทศไทยมีแนวทาง Thailand 4.0 ที่จะเดินหน้าเข้าสู่นวัตกรรมและก็เทคโนโลยีแห่งอนาคตคุณณัฐฐา โกมลวัทินค่ะได้มีการพูดคุยกับหัวหน้าฝ่ายดิจิทัลแลบบริษัทที่ปรึกษา McKinsey ที่ชี้ว่าไทยทำได้ดีเกินมาตรฐานในเอเชียแล้วแต่ว่ายังต้องเดินหน้าอีกมากค่ะ
Well, I do think that we actually are right now doing a lot of work in Thailand. Actually, we've done a lot of work on these topics over the last couple of years. So, my observation is that at least the private sector is moving forward across industries. And the banks are digitizing their customer engagements. The telcos are driving the same, and even companies in the big heavy industries like in oil and gas or in mining or in chemicals are working on Industry 4.0. So I think it is happening in Thailand, and I would say I find my discussions with senior business leaders in this country to be absolutely inspiring.
Of course, it's very global phenomenon of technology disruption. It happens everywhere. What's the shared experience that you find in Southeast Asia region?
I like to always refer back to the unicorns, which is, to kind of draw some kind of imagination. These are startups with a valuation of more than $1 billion, and they have 5 things in common that traditional companies need to master as well. It's aiming to disrupt and change industries. It's number 1. Number 2, human-centric design. Number 3, modern technology. Number 4, new talent and capabilities. And number 5, an agile operating model.
It has to be started with having vision to go digital first. Absolutely.
And I would say if you look at the digital leaders or the unicorns, they all have an ambition to change the world. So they start with aspirations that go far beyond the status quo. And I think that we've seen the same with more traditional companies. Of those that are the most successful in their transformation, they also want to change the world. They have a very ambitious vision.
What's the most difficult aspect for any company or any sector to really make a decision to go digital?
I think it is culture, if anything. I remember 8 years ago when we started this and we said, well, we need to get some designers in, we need to get software engineers in. McKinsey traditionally has hired people from the top business schools in the world that look very polished. Now, your average designer looks very different. He will have a ponytail or an earring, and they are very creative people with very strong minds, but absolutely brilliant in what they do. And so initially, people in McKinsey were also saying, how is this going to work? This is a very different culture. How do we work together? And so I would say finding a way that the traditional McKinsey, the consultants, and the new talent could work together has taken some time, but once you can make it work, it's magic.
Some established companies may still have resistance, not quite sure with disruption because it means much effort in really disrupt themselves. What if they don't do it now? What will happen to those companies?
And that again has been quite consistent across industries. In fact, every industry that gets disrupted, if you look after 10 years, is very clear. Those that moved first and had the boldest ambitions come out better. Those that didn't move, they die. They get obsolete. And in your own industry, in the media industry, there's plenty of examples of companies that didn't transform and didn't make it in the end. So I think there is no choice.
With all these changes, what the government should support the corporate sector, or should it be the other way around, corporate sector do more to support the government in order to move forward together as a country?
Let me share, for me it's not private versus public, let me share what I feel Thailand needs to do to unlock the full value of technology-enabled transformation for the companies, the industries, and society as a whole. I have 5 ideas. Number 1 is every country that has thrived in the digital age has champions, both in private sector and public sector that are taking the leads. Number 2 is there's a talent issue. We have found consistently that the traditional tertiary education isn't able to keep up with technology, and that's where the private sector needs to jump in. Number 3 is there is a need for new regulation. to enable this digital way of working together, also to enable ecosystems. Number 4 is there's a need for infrastructure, to enable cloud-based computing, to enable artificial intelligence, to attract the best startups of the world to Thailand. And then number 5 is collaboration. The buzzword of the digital age is collaboration in ecosystems. And I think the government needs to play a role in fostering that, and private sector needs to, of course, also get engaged in that.